Hello, my name is Daniel Ziegler, and this is my final project for Game Engine Development 1. Now, unfortunately, I am recording this on a potato, or close enough. This computer is not particularly powerful, so running the recording along with the game engine is actually causing it to slow down just a bit, which could indicate a problem with my code, but I was short on time, and this is the best I could do under the circumstances. I just started a new job. But anyway, I digress. I've compiled this for release, so I'll go ahead and start it up, and we'll see what it can do. And if it starts to get a bit laggy, well, you can deal with that when we get there. Okay, well, it's not too bad. As you can see, it's displaying, it has 4 different models. You see 3 right here. So there's the cube, the pyramid, and this one is a 3-sided pyramid. I didn't have any software for creating these models, but so instead what I did was sort of entered the coordinates myself. The 4th type of model, if you zoom out here, is actually a flat plane. So let me reset the camera here. If you zoom out back here, you'll see that it's actually flat, and there's no, the polygon is cold when you go from underneath it. So the cube is spinning in space. Several of the other shapes are rotating. This 3-sided triangle over here is actually scaled a bit. It's larger than it would otherwise be. It's kind of hard to tell here. This one's moving on multiple axes. It's an arbitrary axis rather than just X, Y, or Z. So I've got several different, well, I've got 4 instances of each object as per the project requirements. These 4 areas are each using a different type of shader or graphical effect. Over here at the start, we have the texture and light shader as we went over in class. This one has the light source at 0, 10, 0, so just at a Y height of 10. And shining down on all these objects. You can see there's a bit of a change as soon as we transition over here, which is where the flat shader is. So I decided, why not try recreating this exact same thing with a flat shader and see the difference. And as you can see, they look a lot different. There's like not much lighting at all. Up ahead, we have a wireframe section, same kind of things. This time you can see where the triangles are drawn, sort of how I did this. The triangles, well, the rectangular pyramid has like 2 at the bottom, similar to the square. And if we go over to the right, we have the, as you can see, the flat color version. It has a flat color and a shader. Now you may notice that although one of them is green, the rest are their own colors. It looks like we have 2 purple ones. I could have changed that in the code to make them different colors, but I modified the shader just a bit so that it would accept a base color in addition to a lighting color. There's nothing special in the light right now. It's actually all just a single color, but I could change that if I wanted to. I'm really glad I put in this reset camera button. As you can see, the camera moves around. It can move in all different directions and just sort of rotate. The controls are listed in a separate file. W, A, S, and D move around. W and S move forward and backward. A and D turn left to right, so it's kind of more like GoldenEye controls rather than, you know, modern FPS stuff. And rather than using a mouse, because I haven't really hooked that up yet, I just use the arrow keys for everything else. Left and right do a sort of strafing motion. Pressing up looks down and down looks up. That's inverted controls because I like inverted controls, and it seems nobody else seems to like them. I don't get it. It seems very natural to me. Again, I digress. So the R button just resets the camera. I also have the space bar to move up and C to move down. Now there are a couple of other features. If you press the left and right brackets, you will change cameras. There are several different ones available. And if you want to add a camera, let me see if I can remember how to do this. Press the M button. So now you can see, in addition to that one, we have a new camera right over where you will leave the camera that you were at and create a new camera. If you want to get rid of that camera, just press N, and you'll be 1 camera down. As you can see, we have 3 right here, so if we get rid of 1, we've got only 2 cameras left. And now there's down to 1. If you try to delete this one, it will not work. You have to have at least 1 camera. As for objects, I have a rather interesting way to demonstrate this. The objects are organized in a PCS tree, as we went over in the first assignment. So pressing the minus button will remove whatever object is at the bottom of the PCS tree, at the very last point. Now, this is very inefficient. I would prefer to just remove from the top, but it helps for the purpose of this example, because as soon as you remove an object, you can put it back in, and it'll put it back at the top. So the next object you remove will be something entirely different. You just can remove the pyramid, the other pyramid. That's the one that I created next. So you can sort of see what order I created the objects in. You can actually see that in the code. Anyway, pressing the plus button will put back whatever object you got rid of. And here we're back to the start. So if you decide to get rid of an object, if you decide, you know what, I don't like this object, here, you know what, let's get rid of this three-sided pyramid, I don't really like the way it looks, and press the delete button, you completely get rid of it. It is gone from memory. You can still continue to... Oh, yeah, yes, see? You can still continue to get new objects and remove them, but if you delete it, you'll just get rid of whichever object you were quote-unquote holding at the time. So, next up, let me see. Okay, well, if you, it is possible to change these textures dynamically. If you press the 1 key, 2, 3, and 4, it'll change the texture on that central spinning cube. But if you delete that cube, then you will not be able to change its textures anymore. You might... I'm not sure if my screen is turning brown in this recording. It might be. I'm recording at 9 o'clock, and my screen dims at that time for my eyes. Anyway, so, incidentally, the textures and the models are also stored in their own manager objects, so that they can be kept track of while they're in memory. Before the game closes, it actually deletes everything in memory just to clear it up. Now, I did not manage to hook up the memory tracker like we designed, so I really hope that I got all the memory kept track of. If I didn't, that's going to really hurt on the assignment, but that's what I got. That about concludes this video. You can find the controls listed in a text document in the game folder that will be altered later tonight, and as well as instructions on how to compile. It uses the standard templates like you showed us, so that's about it. Thank you for